Hi. Damn. Sorry. I forgot to put the intro on a loop. So, shall we? Yes, we shall. Hold, please. There we go. That was much better. How's everybody doing? Happy Thursday, right? Yes, Thursday. Well, my goodness. Before I really get going here. Namaste, bitches. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. Namaste, bitches. It's pretty bad when I have to cleanse my brain before I even get going. Oh, and how about something really cute before I start talking about someone really ugly, inside as well as out. But first, my little duck. Isn't that sweet? Oh my God. Like, how could you not love a little rubber duck? Maybe Betty needs, like, I don't know, a dump truck size full of little rubber ducks. They could just dump them on her front yard. Yeah, probably wouldn't work, but it's a thought. So to make matters worse, I woke up to this wretched, skanky bitch this morning and her latest insanity. And I'm going back and listening to Michael Bennett from The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, which possibly today, I'd like to finish up with episode 2. We'll just see how it goes here. So yes, I mean, my mind has already been filled with ugliness and hateful people. So, how's everybody doing? Good morning, Emmy, Headstones and Headlines. Stella Bella, how are you? Take Kelly, how are you? Whoops, sorry. I'm having issues with this mouse this morning. Outlaw Trucker, how are you? Hey, it's me, Amber Lee. How are ya? Stephanie S. Good morning. SoFlo Mama, how you doing? Oh my God, you guys. Cericia, how are you? The Oil Farmer's Wife. Now that's a new name I haven't seen before. Welcome. Okay, kids. Patricia Sell, hello, how are you? Merbella, how you doing? Fairy Dust, good morning. Amethyst Moon, did I already say hello? If I did, hello again. If not, hi. Okay, you guys, I put a link in the chat before I said a word to Menace. That's Menace to Sobriety's video that I'm going to do commentary on. And as many of you may know, my fabulous intro, Menace to Sobriety, very kindly made that for me, unsolicited. One day I had an email and Menace said that he was playing around with some new software editing tools and sent me that intro, which was so incredibly kind. And I should have played it a few more times. I always play it as the intro and the extra. So I put his link in the chat. I'm sure by now there's nobody rolling around in this neighborhood who doesn't know who Menace to Sobriety is. He makes fantastic videos, and this one is no exception. Hello, blank screen. How you doing? Another creator that I believe has a sole focus, or almost a sole focus, on exposing Bullskank Betty for the wretched bitch that she is. Well, that would be Headstones and Headlines, Emmy. Emmy, I would love to play a few minutes of your video from about 3 hours ago, but since it is so new, I totally understand if you would rather I do not. But if you don't mind, then I would love to play it, at least in part. Oh, you guys, you know what I noticed before I went live as I was queuing up 2 videos? Well, Manatee County Commissioners, the Board of County Commissioners is meeting live right now as we speak. So what does that mean? That means that everybody's favorite malcontent Karen, well, I don't think Karen quite covers her. That's an insult to Karens everywhere. But yes, that means that she's no doubt there, getting ready to terrorize the Board of County Commissioners and all of Manatee County while she, claims her 3 minutes of fame at the podium. Yes, in addition to never enough lanyards, Betty thinks that a lanyard is a fashion accessory. And she's never met 1 or 12 at the same time that she doesn't love. Well, a podium or a lectern, same thing. Hey, Bash, how you doing? Rowena, how are you? Stargazer Mom, good morning. Rebel Rose, hello. The only other thing before we get going here, just a little housekeeping on my part. The little short video I did this morning where I told Betty that sequential was with numbers. Well, I misspoke. It is not just with numbers, Betty. It deals with the order of things. But I quite naturally think numbers. So when I said sequential, I only gave part of the definition. So there's that. And, unlike Betty, I'm not a fan of looking like, a dumbass fool who cannot pronounce and or define words that most of us learned anywhere between 8th and 9th grade. So there's my correction. Hey, B10, how you doing? Okay, Emmy, hold on 1 second. Let me go back up and look. Play the one from last night. Okay, I will do that. Wow. Just when Betty. Oh, first there's this. In full disclosure, y'all, I am not following the Idaho 4 case. I know obviously I've got the bare bones details of the story. I'm not following it mainly because dirtbags like Betty the tragedy pimps, they have their grubby little fingers all over this, and they sicken me. And I don't want, once it really gets going, and they get to trial, I will or better yet, when it's over. That's oftentimes these really big cases. I'll follow in the loosest sense of that word in real time. But oftentimes when it's all said and done, the trial, that's when I like to go back and watch it all. But, with the benefit of being able to fast forward, etc. So there is that. I am not going to be speaking about any specifics at all related to this case, because I'm not entrenched in this. I don't know everything there is to know about this case, but it's not about that. It's about Betty and her evil ass self. And that is just my opinion. In my opinion, I do believe that she sits at the right hand of Satan. I think well, how have I put this before? I would imagine that there are several diagnostic codes for insurance purposes that come from the Bible on people with disorders, everywhere from minor to absolutely being a sociopath or a psychopath. I've said in the past that I believe there's probably some insurance codes that Betty resembles, but I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not Betty. I don't pretend to be a whole lot of things that I am not, nor am I qualified to opine on. So anything I say is strictly my opinion. And I'm not trying to sway you to my side of the fence, so to speak. Not at all. Because I don't need to, okay? Betty, what occurs to me after I've watched your latest performance, and sadly, I don't think it is a performance. I've heard various people give their opinions on the clip that, the video that MENACE made about Betty's latest. And, I do understand and appreciate that there are people out there who think that this is all just done for views, for money, for clicks, for likes, for subs. I don't agree with that. I think it's who she is. YouTube is her soapbox. It's her platform. Nobody's ever given a rat's ass about anything she's had to say in her whole shitty life. And gee, I wonder why. Unless, of course, it's on, which jail cell has, the highest thread count sheets, or, who's got the best commissary items. Other than that, what is she qualified to speak on? And when I said that I'm not trying to get you to my side of the fence, I assure you I'm not. Much like I just said, this is Betty's soapbox. Well, it's anybody who has a channel, it kind of is our soapbox. So all my thoughts and opinions on Betty are just that. I'm not going to say anything that I say because I'm trying to get you to see things my way. If you don't already see things my way, I can't help you. And for all the people that follow her, if you are on board with this and you get down with this and you support this, then guess what? You are the same loser. You are the same wretched, amoral piece of trash that she is. Honest to God, I watch her, and one of the first things I scribble down is, Betty, do you ever wonder what's wrong with you? Like, I don't believe she has the ability to self-reflect. She's too fucking immature, okay? Mentally, based on what Betty has shown us, what she puts out there, whether it's a persona, which I don't believe, I believe it's her. She is, the only thing thinner than her skin is her hair. By the way, Bets, my goodness, you seem to be getting closer and closer to not having any hair. Yeah. Girl, I can give you the number of my hairdresser. She wouldn't take you on as a client, though. But she might be able to, I don't know, refer you to somebody who needs a client that bad. Hey, Beer Can, how you doing? Leo, 88, how are you? Oh, what did I miss? Oh, Rowena, don't you worry. Lisa's going to preach. Beelzebub? Yep, that's I believe that she is about 8th grade mentality, middle school mentality. That's what she has. Sometimes elementary school. I have never seen anyone who is as closed off to any kind of dissent or constructive criticism as she is. And that is very typical of pre-adolescent children. I mean, anybody who's a parent, and she is not, thank God, thank God. You know, they always say God knows what he's doing. And, you know, for those of you that believe, and whether you believe in God or some other, you know, higher power, spiritual being, well, whoever's handing out children very wisely had her absent from school that day, because the only thing about this bitch that I can think of at the moment that would make her worse would be if she had a child to corrupt with her rotting insides. I think she is evil. And I heard somebody say yesterday on Queen Bees, I don't remember who it was. It might have been Voices. And I'm not even sure if it was in reference to Betty, but I heard somebody say in a joking manner, God, she needs to take a Zoloft or a Xanax. And then, you know, a little further down said, they make a pill for that. And you know what? I myself have thought that before. I'm well beyond that point. There's no pill for evil, not the last I checked. Boy, if there was, wouldn't it be a better world? We wouldn't need jails. And that's just my opinion. And I base that opinion on everything she's served up to us on a platter. I'm not going and looking for anything on her. And the only listen, it would be one thing if she did all these nasty things, but then was able to have a discourse with someone else where she defends her choices and the things she does. If she did that, instead of just, blocking and bouncing, anyone who looks at her sideways from, 3 houses down, 3 channels down, then if she did engage in that, then I would be able to rationalize in my mind that, okay, well, this probably is a persona, kind of like Howard Stern, okay? Anybody who knows Howard Stern in real life, I've never heard anyone say anything but for he is a very nice, laid back, peaceful person. His radio program, while I'm sure, and I read both of, did he write more than 2 books? I'll never forget his first book. God, I can't remember the name of it now, but it had just been published. And I happened to have been in Manhattan for the weekend, and I bought it at a newsstand at JFK. And anybody who's ever flown in and out of Manhattan, especially on peak hours, well, you know that back in the day, you could sit on the tarmac for quite a while. And this was back in the day before, Kindles and whatnot. And the weather, I remember the weather was bad. So we knew there was going to be a delay, and there was a delay anyway. I mean, rarely did you ever get out of there on time. So I will never forget. I bought his book because I wanted something to read while I was sitting on the tarmac. Y'all, I was literally laughing out loud. I was in stitches. It was that funny. And Howard Stern, even though clearly he always had, from the time he was a kid, he had the gift of gab. He liked to entertain. So his radio program, while that was not completely a persona, a lot of it was. And he just would play to the strengths that he already had and just make them a little extra, we'll just say. But, I've never heard anyone say that in his real life he was anything less than a great guy. So if she could entertain civil discourse, I could rationalize that her disgusting behavior was really a persona. Like, listen, we do every story has a villain, okay? I get that. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people who don't like yours truly. But the difference between me and Betty is when people pop in here, hey, it's Moon, how you doing? Evie Renee, how are you? That's a new name. Welcome. When people pop in here and tell me, you're old, you wear too much makeup, you've got fake tits, but, Insert insult. I don't bounce them. Hell, one that stopped by the other day, I offered a link. Well, shockingly, never came back to take it. But the offer stands. Anybody that I talk about is welcome to come and tell me why I'm wrong. But see, Betty can't do that. Betty cannot take any criticism. But even more than that, okay, you can chalk that up to immaturity. Based on everything I see, and in my layperson's opinion, just as an overly made up old woman on the internet, just, doing the same thing everybody else is doing. Well, not her, but yeah, my opinion on that is I see someone who takes great joy out of shitting all over and rubbing salt in the wounds of people who have suffered tragic losses that wretched bitch better hope she never knows the likes of. She likes what she does. And I get every story needs a villain, but this isn't a story. These are people's lives that she takes seemingly great pleasure out of being cruel to. That is fucked up to a degree that I can't explain. I'm sure there's a shrink out there who can, but I'm not a shrink. So, although I will say, making videos on all these scumbags, well, it certainly has had me contemplating purchasing my own copy of the DSM. And for those of you who don't know, that is the mental health profession's Bible, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, which contains every conceivable diagnosis that's one could have, with I'm sure a coordinating insurance code, because everybody wants to get paid. And the reason they do that is so that it's not as a diagnosis is not as open to interpretation, because one shrink may have a different opinion than another one, where they're not a streamlined guide or outline, so to speak, as to, if you find one therapist and you need another one, well, that way they can look at this code or the diagnosis from the book, and everybody's kind of on the same page. And of course, those diagnoses have, symptoms and whatnot. Symptoms is probably not the word. Signs, all of the above. That helps the clinician pick the correct diagnosis. So if one says, yes, this patient is a sociopath, that will be based on the parameters laid out in the DSM. You might, here are, and usually it goes a little something like this. Let's just stick with sociopath, shall we? Sociopath. And then you'll have, let's say, maybe 20 symptoms or traits of a sociopath. And in order for the clinician to give that diagnosis, the patient needs to display at least X amount of traits. If not, then that is not the diagnosis. It's just kind of so everybody's on the same page. Okay. Hey, Kathy P, how you doing? every time I think I have seen the worst from this disgusting bitch, no, she gives more. She goes lower. What is pretty terrifying about her, when you keep in mind her lengthy criminal history and her civil history as well, but mainly the criminal. It seemed she just, I don't know how else to describe it, because listen, she's sort of a conundrum because she's so thin-skinned, but everything she does invites scorn from normal thinking people. That's the best way I know how to put it. And she just keeps doing it and labels all the fucking normal people that call her out on all her disgusting behavior. We're all haters, roach channels. Bitch, the roaches that I occasionally find in my house, because this is Florida and everybody has them. Bitch, my roaches, they wouldn't even park their little roach car in front of your house. I assure you I'm not a roach channel. And I don't hate you or anyone for that matter. I think you're vile. I think you're disgusting. I think you're evil. I think you're dangerous. But don't worry, I got some new words, because I'm like, damn, I need new words. I'm out of all the regular everyday vernacular that is used to describe people like her. I need some new words. And don't worry, I'm going to read you a few. They're not going to be in sequential order, however. Oh God. So the fact that she continues to do all this shit that normal thinking people would never in a million years do, I mean, I don't know what other conclusion to draw. She likes it. She enjoys what she does. She tells everybody all the time, I'm not going to stop doing what I do. And what she does is hideous. Betty, you have accomplished nothing in your life. And what the hell do you think you've accomplished here on YouTube? Well, I take that back. You have accomplished something. You have accomplished culling large groups of people who physically recoil at even the sight of your name. I mean, I know I have a visceral reaction to her always. I mean, I don't know. Hey, Running Bear. Oh, Running Bear. She's a sick woman. I agree. I agree. I don't think that people who are well, but I mean, let's not forget Sarah Dreyer, shall we? See, here's the, much like in the real world, in the real media, and Betty, you ain't part of the real media, bitch, okay? People in the real media, not only do they know how to speak proper English and use proper grammar, they've also met punctuation, and even better, they can define the words that they use. You, not so much. I mean, Betty, it would behoove you to get a fucking dictionary, honey. And if this was back in the Stone Ages when I went to school, I'd say a thesaurus would also benefit you. Oh, Roget's thesaurus. It looks like Roget's, which is how she'd pronounce it. It was Roget, apostrophe S. Roger. Hey, Nonsense, how you doing, girl? I'm just looking for my press pass. Hold on, because I'm going to show you that Betty's press pass is about as worthless as mine, but my credentials are issued from a much more respected outlet, we'll just say. Damn it, where is that thing? I know I showed it yesterday. Or no, not yesterday. Oh, here it is. My goodness, I'm just gonna have to lift this damn thing out of my desk. Sorry, y'all, it's my credenza that my desktop sits in front of. Okay. All right. Yes, Lisa's got her press pass. Her press pass that is, as worthless as Betty's. From the well-dressed, literate media. Courtesy of Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue. Yes, Betty, that's mine. It's as worthless as yours. I just didn't have to buy mine. Oh, I'm sure she didn't either. Who the hell? I mean, I'm sorry. There is nothing more comical than someone who has a 8th to 9th grade at best verbal communication ability and a written, who wants you to believe they are a legit member of the media. No, you are a delusional, poorly spoken, nasty, vile bitch who takes great joy in adding to the burden of those who are already carrying burdens that most of us, pray to God, we never have to carry. But the difference between me and you and everybody here, oh, thanks, Brittany, how are you, is the fact that we all feel nothing but empathy, sympathy for these people, and would never dream of doing anything to add to their burden under the guise of journalism. Oh, Brittany, this is Magnolia Pearl is the company. Okay. Oh, I did promise you some new words, so let's do that before I start this video. Okay. I did put MENACE's link in the chat. I will drop it again in just a minute. Let's see here. Yeah, Benny, you know what I would suggest to you? Since it so clearly does not come naturally to you to have empathy. I mean, being a human doesn't seem to come very natural to you. I mean, I guess you are one in the loosest sense of that word. I mean, you don't walk on 4 legs. Oh, what is that they say? Doesn't Satan... Who is it that does not eat? Is it Orthodox Jews that do not eat? The reason they don't eat pork or any other animal that has a cloven hoof is because they believe that's, that's from downstairs. Yeah, I mean, the only thing to me, well, I'll just stop there. Okay. So yes, Betty, I would suggest kind of like all good sociopaths. Notice I say good sociopaths. No matter where they are in their criminal career, whether they're just getting started, whether they've, slaughtered one or more people, whether they've already been caught and they're sitting in a jail cell going, oh my God, where did it all go wrong? I tried. I do know that Ted Bundy, well, he, along with many others, you know, usually they will tell you that they knew early on that they were, oh, thanks, Emmy, for dropping that. Hey, Kathy Clock the House. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? But many times these people will say, I knew from early on I wasn't like everybody else. I specifically remember Ed Kemper said, as well as I believe Ted Bundy said some version of this, that they watched and they studied other people so that they could, normal people, so that they, because you see, if they don't do that and they don't learn to at least make the effort to pretend that they're walking around feeling normal human emotions like the rest of us, you know, like when somebody loses their child, you know, normal people would never, ever, ever, ever say anything that would add to that family's pain. But if you're fucking dead inside and you're an evil sociopath like Ted Bundy and Kemper and many, many others, well, you know that they need to hide in plain sight. And the way they do that is they watch and they mimic what the normal people do. Because, you know, if your dog gets out, God forbid, and gets hit by a car, well, if you're a sociopath, probably a psychopath as well, well, I would say they probably don't even have the animal in the first place unless it's to torture it. But they, hey, Mike Stevens. Oh, Mike. Are you trying to get bounced the minute you walk in here? You're right, Mike. I know your other gorgeous blonde is Betty. Gosh, I'm so lucky to be in such exalted company. Hey, Chaos, how you doing? Shutterbug. You know, they don't feel like when something happens to Fido, they don't care because they're dead inside. But when everybody else is standing in the street where poor Fido has met his tragic end, you know, whether you knew Fido or not, chances are most normal people don't want to see a dog get hurt or, God forbid, killed. So they try and hide in plain sight. So, you know, that's all I'm going to say on that. I'll just leave that right there. Yeah. You're not too good at this, Betty. You're really not. But I have come up with a career for you that, my God, and I'm not even joking. And this would play to her strengths. Well, except for that, you know, pesky writing part. Having to be, well, actually, you know what? They really don't have to write shit. Huh. Anybody ever seen the documentary on Netflix a few years back called A Shot in the Dark? That's what Betty should do. Be a stringer. A freelance stringer. It's like the media's version of what she's already doing, except she just has to get pictures. So you get a scanner and you wait for death. You're like it's like a tragedy. It's like an OG tragedy pimp, but it's even better because instead of having to, rely on a bunch of like little super chat shekels, the better the picture, the more the payday. So yeah, you just get a scanner and you wait for catastrophes to happen, news events, and you race to the scene to capture and memorialize forever someone's worst day. And then you shop it around. Depending on how big the catastrophe is and how good your pictures are, I mean, they can make really good money. And it's pretty cutthroat because the people that do it, obviously, everybody's trying to, they've got the same objective. It's a great documentary. Netflix, I believe, Shot in the Dark. That is what Betty should do because she could make money. It's freelance. She wouldn't have to write anything. I mean, come on. I'm trying to keep this in the realm of reality. Hey, Tuesday child, how are you? That would be great. She's not bothered by, death and destruction. And then she wouldn't have to put on full display her inherent cruel nature because it would be her job. Betty, this ain't a job, pumpkin. I don't know who told you that tragedy pimping is a job. It's not. However, being a stringer, a freelance stringer, that is very much a job. And it's, my goodness, it's right up your alley, girl. Getting to capitalize for your own purposes someone else's worst day. And you wouldn't have all the normal people on YouTube dragging you for filth up and down and up and down on the regular. Betty, I got news for you here. We are not all wrong. You are the one who's wrong. I don't know what's wrong. That's way above my pay grade. I'm not like you. I don't run around practicing at my pretend careers. This is just a hobby. I'm not trying to make money. I don't give a shit if I've got one person or 1 million people. You will get the same show from me no matter what, because I'm not here for the reasons you are. Okay. Oh, thank you, Kathy P. This shirt is from Magnolia Pearl. They put out new designs like every 2 weeks, but they're very limited and it's one done. I'm going to wear this weekend. Emmy, because I bought several of these the other day. Anybody who's a cat fan, Emmy from Headstones and Headlines, she fosters kittens. Girl, you are going to love my shirt that I'm going to wear. I'll wear it on the weekend. The graphic. I bought it in 3 different designs because I fell in love with it. It's called a unicat. Does anybody know what a unicat is? No, it's not something that it doesn't come from a unifam. You will love it. Okay. So, I think I'll read the disclaimer just in case I play. I hope MENACE will not mind. It's especially since it's been played so many places. So great video. And I know the link was dropped. Emmy, you can, oh, you know what unicats are? Damn, girl, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a unicat. It is the cutest thing ever. It is so adorable. Maybe, okay, tomorrow's Friday. I don't think, I will wear it at some point. Maybe I'll wear it later on today when we do the Natalia Grace episode 2. Okay, but unicats, oh my God, they're so adorable. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by statute. What? Good Lord. Take 2. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be considered infringement. Okay, there we go. Oh, wait, I forgot. I have to give you some of my new words. Okay. Let me just look at this real quickly. I think I went through most of my notes. Okay, here's some new words that describe Betty. Miscreant, malefactor, rotter, rogue, cretin, I know I've used that before, scrote. I wonder why I picked that one. Gee, it reminds me of something. Although she probably hasn't seen one of those since Dolly. Wretch, lout, and chuff. Should anyone want a list of those, just leave it in the comments and I'll put them out there for you and you can look them up. But basically they all mean scumbag, dirtbag, gross, sleazy person in one degree or another. Okay. Brittany, I did not get your email. I'm not great about checking my email, but I checked it the other day, you guys. I had over 1,000 emails. But I did not see anything. Brittany, did you send it to crimesandfashion@gmail.com? Try it again. If that doesn't work, you can try my Proton. I've gotten a few emails there, but that's under Fashionistas, Felons, and Fruit Loops at protonmail.com. Oh, Lord. What are we talking about? Balloon release. Oh, yes, that's right, you guys. The crazy's really going to start getting amped up. When are all the tragedy pimps heading to Rogersville for the I tell you what, I have never seen such a fucking confabulation. Yeah, look that one up too. I've never seen such a confabulation of just amoral, morally bankrupt scumbags. How do these people do this? Summer Wells is not your child. And I'm not speaking, I'm speaking to the ones who are having a meet and greet, a barbecue. All you dumbass people that give these fucking idiots money, you need to wake up. They do not give a damn about that child. It is just another in a long line of events to grift money off of a baby that does not belong to them. I mean, I hear the other day that fucking scumbag Dolly, his sidekick, Tina, Papercut Tina, Did I hear correctly? She's been living in fucking public housing, Section 8 housing for 26 years. I guess that means I'm just going to go out on a limb. If that's true, I'll take that to mean that she's never paid a dime of fucking income tax, right? Yeah, because if you're living in Section 8, you're not stroking checks to Uncle Sam like, I am. And you are. To pay for that. Gosh, Tina, maybe, I don't know. If that's true, well, you sure seem to be able to sit on your ass talking on Dolly's panel day and night. My goodness, don't you think you could get some kind of job? Maybe on the computer, you could just put a little headset on and you could, home please, and, direct the call where it needs to go, or get some fucking customer service job. People calling to complain about, I don't know, get with Betty. She knows all about complaining, so she can probably help you with that. But not only did I hear that she's been living in public housing for 26 years, and if that is incorrect, I will, of course, issue a retraction and an apology, because I'm not that bitch. I'm not Betty. I won't double down. When I make a mistake, I just own up to it, apologize, and keep it moving. So in the event that I am wrong about that, I will certainly apologize. But whatever the case may be, I was told that not only is Dolly going to, do an in-person grift meet and greet. God, you're so fucking tacky. So tacky. You have no, trust me, I wasn't going to say class. That never entered the building. Never mind, left it. Yeah, you and Betty were simpatico together. Oh, well, how come that didn't work out? Ooh, won't that be interesting? Is his girlfriend going? You do know that he's like, I'm not sure how this happens, but apparently the ladies like him. I don't know why. It just proves that, never mind. I don't have to say everything that rolls through my head. And that's probably better left unsaid. But yeah, won't that be interesting? Is Betty going? Are y'all gonna, it sounds like, Dolly seems like he's pretty open-minded, we'll just say. Is his girlfriend open-minded, I wonder? I sure hope so, because it'll probably make your relationship last longer than it would otherwise. Of course, that's just all speculation on my part. I'm only going by, his gross, messages that floated all around YouTube that, the rest of us were quite unfortunately exposed to. Yeah. But so he's going to have a little harem down there? Is that how this is going? He'll have the girlfriend, I'm presuming. And then he'll have his sidekick, Tina. Paper cut Tina. Who? I don't know who's more disgusting. Somebody who's a grown fucking woman that is going to get on a plane and go to a meet and greet barbecue, redneck barbecue, under the guise of what? A memorial, a remembrance, what? What is it all under the guise of? I'd have more respect if he just came out and said what it really is. And if you believe the word on the street, which, I don't go to his channel, I don't go to his chat, so that's all I do have. And like I said, if I'm wrong, I will gladly issue a retraction and apologize. But yeah, supposedly, I heard this woman on Queen Bee's panel. I cannot remember her name, but she's English. Oh, and she doesn't like Mel. Mel, don't feel bad, girl. They just didn't like you because you're pretty. And they're all a bunch of old hags. Yeah, like me. I'm an old hag too. Takes one to know one, right? But you got a grown-ass woman who is going to travel to a barbecue. To what? Tina, they always say you should never meet your idols because it never works out good. And you know what? I can attest to that in as much as this. I have experience with that firsthand, but not an idol, but just sometimes what you don't know, you're better not knowing it. Hi, Becca. How are you? Hey, Texas Tiffany. How you doing? I mean, my God, what the fuck ever happened to the concept of pride? You fucking lowlifes. My God, you people come on here begging for everything from tampons to toilet paper to auto expenses, rent checks, flights, hotels. Sure, you got to throw the food in because come on. If rumor's correct, old Tina is going to Tennessee, all courtesy of some woman in England who's paid for her accommodation or her airline ticket. Well, I'm assuming she must have paid for her accommodations as well. I mean, what's she going to do? Just camp at the airport? Oh, maybe she's going to stay with Dolly in his shaggin' wagon. Has he ever gotten that thing fixed? Dolly, I hope you learned how to change a tire this time. Or, I don't know, buy yourself some AAA. Because, you know, my goodness, that was wah, wah, wah. So sad. Nothing like seeing a grown-ass man who doesn't know how to change a tire. My goodness. I mean, I don't know how to change a tire either, but I'm a woman. And I'm a small woman at that. And I have roadside assistance. I don't have to know how to change a tire. Well, I have a husband too. Ew, leggings? No, Betty should never wear leggings. Sorry. Little Miss. Little Mix. How are you? Yeah, it's so gross. It is so honest to God, I've never seen anything like this place. It is like, why does Tina need to go? And listen, it's none of my business. I don't care. I'm not a tacky gauche bitch. I'm also not some nut job who thinks that that's my child. I've said before, lumpy space. Well, that's a new one. Welcome. I have said before that I understand for whatever. I understand many people have a very they have a connection to Summer Wells, I guess. Listen, I'm sorry. This is going to be unpopular, but I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. And I heard someone else say it about a week ago, and I was in my kitchen going, yes, my God, thank you. I very much hope that Summer Wells is found. Obviously, the very best case scenario is that she is alive and well somewhere, and that she is being well taken care of by whoever took her, if that is the case. If that is not the case, of course, I want her to be found for the sake of her family, her friends from church, all the people who knew her. But that's as far as it goes, okay? I don't love Summer Wells because I don't know Summer Wells, and neither do you. Summer Wells is a picture of a beautiful little girl who has seemingly vanished off the face of the earth. I hope and pray the very best possible outcome for her. That's as far as it goes. If me making a monetary donation could help bring her home, I would do that in a hot second. And if and when that time comes, I will stand in that line. But short of that, no. I mean, you people that have these channels where for 2 years you have done nothing every damn day but talk about this case and that child and her family and her church, and nothing new has happened. And I don't know how you people sleep at night if you are making money off the back of this child and you're not donating at least a portion of that money to either a children's charity. I don't think we have a reward fund anymore. Or turn your monetization off. You want to talk about that kid all day and night? Have at it. But if you're not willing to turn your monetization off until, we actually have something to report, rather than you all just using that child to enrich yourself. It's disgusting. It's gross. Especially when you think of some of the people, the worst offenders. Prayer Garden of America. I mean, I can't help you if you think that illiterate viper gives a shit about Summer Wells. Because if she did, she would not speak the way she speaks when talking about a child. She has said the most disgusting things a human being can say. And she's got someone else's. I tell you what, better be glad Summer Wells isn't my child, because I would do everything in my power to stop these disgusting scumbag people from exploiting my child night after night after night after night. I wish Donnie Candace Wells would turn the YouTube off and don't ever come back here. There is nothing good that's going to come from it. All you are doing is giving these disgusting tragedy pimps fodder. It's grist for the mill. They don't care about you. They don't care about your child. It's that simple. But this is not about that. I don't want to. I wasn't trying to turn this into anything about Summer, but it's just When are you people going to wake up? When? If a grown adult is asking you to fund their travel plans, to go to a meet and greet, I mean, I don't know where I come from. If you can't afford it, you don't do it. Y'all need a big ass dose of pride. I'd go hungry before I would come on YouTube and tell people that I don't have money for this, that, the other. Why do you think I always make those smart ass remarks? Listen, this is what I want. I want all of you dumbasses that give your money to Dolly, to Betty, to all the rest of them. Can y'all please, I need you to start donating to my Porsche Panamera fund. Okay, that's all I want. If you'll buy them tampons, cat litter, airline tickets, fucking cars, well, why can't I get a Porsche Panamera? I deserve it. And I'll look really good driving it. I'll even send you an autographed picture. I mean, I don't get it. I'm smarter than them. I'm better looking than them. Why don't you want to buy me a car? Oh, because I didn't ask, yeah. But I will take a Porsche Panamera if you're so inclined. I mean, and to me, that is the absolute absurdity of all this. I mean, you've got able-bodied people who have no excuse for not fucking working, except that they've got a lengthy criminal record and they could not get but the most menial of jobs. And did I hear correctly the other day? Dolly has had 3 DUIs. And you think you have room to talk about anybody else? And if I was Queen Bee, I would sue your worthless ass into oblivion if you cannot prove some of the vile shit you have said about her. And as far as I'm concerned, she's worth fucking 100 of your worthless ass. She made a mistake. She's never denied it. And she's changed her life and moved on. Can you say that? I don't know. Do you still have to blow into a machine to get your car to start? I mean, I know you have a red dot on your house. I just didn't know about your car. I'm just looking at the chat, you guys. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not reading it as often as I should. But it's like, what is wrong with these subs? And listen, Betty is so far out of control and so foul and filthy and disgusting. I'm not even willing anymore. I'm not going to extend the benefit of the doubt to the people that sub to her. If you're sub to her and you co-sign her disgusting behavior and her tactics, then you are her. Okay? You are what you eat. I don't know what else to tell you. Hi, Curious AF. I know, y'all. I always said, I'm sorry. I love irony, okay? I just do. And the irony of a dude selling soap that doesn't look like he's met a bar of soap is not lost on me. And, oh, I did hear that the soap empire, my goodness. Hashtag soap scum. Ooh, I love that. I think we should get that. I think we should get that hashtag going. Soap scum. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wonder what will be next. All right, shall we? Let's get this shit show started. Oh my goodness, what did I just do? I just took the chat. Oh my God. Y'all, is the chat still in shambles? Did y'all like that thumbnail this morning? Hey Sue, how you doing? That's all right. Don't you worry. You can catch it on the replay. We're gonna still listen. You really haven't missed anything except we'll just call it my opening monologue / rant. Now we're getting to the really good part. Here we go. All right. I'm gonna let me see if this will work. What did I do? I'm gonna try and use the mouse over here. Okay, this will work. All right, so menace to sobriety. Oh, Emmy, you must have been reading my mind. Y'all, if you are not subbed up, please do go sub up. Menace to Sobriety makes fantastic videos. And he made the fabulous opening for yours truly. Okay, here we go. Sorry, kids, I yeeted myself accidentally. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. Present, share screen. WTF Betty. My sentiments exactly.
It's frustrating for me. A lot of people don't understand why I'm not really covering Ethan Chapin's family very much. I did a whole story on Ethan Chapin. I actually went out to the area. I went to the Tulip Farm. I went to his high school. We did a very thorough.
Oh, and if you want to see what Betty really looks like when she's not sitting in front of a 2 million watt Klieg light, go look at her little Key West trip. I think it said something like Betty takes over Key West. That's it. Yeah.
Background on Ethan, where he came from, went to his summer jobs. We just had a good understanding of how they lived, how they grew up, where they grew up.
Okay, let me get this straight. Because this stupid bitch went to a tulip farm and, did a drive-by of his high school. That gave her a, quote, good understanding of how he grew up. You fucking vile bitch. I would venture a guess that a real reporter, quite not like you, you're nothing but a real bitch. You're not a reporter, you're not a member of the media, but Betty, it's your fantasy. You talk about it any way you want to. But I can tell you this. A real reporter, like, oh goodness, I don't know, maybe Vanity Fair, didn't they do a piece on her? Yeah, they did. Well, let me revise that. They didn't do a piece on her. She fucking wishes. They were doing a piece on this case, and she was a mention and not a good or notable one. But of course, she took that for major street cred. But a real publication like Vanity Fair, Rolling Stones, etc. I would venture to guess for them to make a statement like the one she just made, that they had a, quote, good understanding of how he grew up. Well, that would probably take, my guess is probably weeks, if not more, of many, many, many in person or, on the phone interviews with any variety of people who knew him as a child, as an adult. It would take a lot more. I mean, to me, right here, full stop. Her idiocy is on display within the first sentence that she speaks. And if you are dumb enough to think that the little bit of bullshit that she did, like did a drive-by of his high school, maybe got her fat ass out of her car at the tulip farm, if you think that constitutes having a good understanding of who he is, I would tell you that you're obviously not too bright either. Okay.
Everything. And so went out there and took the cameras and got some more information.
Took the cameras and got some more information. Emphasis on the camera part. Probably very little on the actual information part. Yes, exactly what Meta says. So you got all set up to tragedy pimp.
The reason why I don't show it, the reason why I don't is because I do respect, like the Chapin family has lost a loved one. They have lost a loved one.
Thanks for stating
But
the obvious.
I my opinions are so strong.
You see her right there? She's kind of parsing words because she knows that what she's about to say is going to bring the heat.
On them not going to the trial that I can't cover.
It's none of your fucking business. Any of it. And nobody owes you an explanation. And the reason you can't cover it is because of dirtbags like you and your little posse of clowns and the shit show that accompanies you. And this court is not going to allow you scumbags to take over the narrative and to corrupt the judicial process that you claim to be educated in. I don't believe that because, like I've said a million other times, you do not speak or portray yourself as one who is educated. I can call myself a surgeon. That doesn't make me one.
Because I don't want to be disrespectful to a family that has lost so much.
Why not? That's your fucking calling card. How about Quentin Simon? You didn't mind terrorizing that family. And you do know that Quentin's family consists of more than just Leilani, Billy Joe, and her husband. There's quite a bit of extended family. So there is that. That is your calling card, bitch.
Lost a loved one. So I'm choosing not to cover the Chapins at all.
Praise Jeebus.
Literally at all.
Well, if I thought that was a decision of your own accord, I would tell you that was probably one of the smartest things you've ever said. But I don't believe it was of your own accord.
And did the video of the book, The Boy That Wore Blue, everything.
How sad. I didn't know until this morning when I saw this video that Ethan was a triplet. My God, I know there's a lot of speculation going around that, how's this for irony? The queen of the jailhouse lawyer cease and desist author, this skank. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who are speculating that, possibly the Chapin family sent her a cease and desist. I don't know. I hope they did, because not that it's any more, it can't get any more tragic than it already is. But the fact that there are two more identical or twins that lost their sibling, that's, you don't typically, triplets are very rare. So are twins, for that matter.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm bowing out when it comes to them, and I'm just going to say this.
I think you've probably been forced to bow out. But I don't know that. That is me speculating.
I stand behind the Gonzalez. I stand behind Maddie Mogan. I stand behind Ethan Chapin as well.
No, you don't, you wretched fucking bitch. Because if you did, you wouldn't do this, idiot. By the way, Betty, you know, I have never seen her eyes when they are not pinpoints. Just pointing out the obvious.
But I'm a fighter. I want somebody in my corner that's going to.
You know why you're a fighter? You're a fighter because you're a mouth-breathing idiot with a low IQ. That's all you can do. You only know about getting ratchet and getting ghetto because that's who you are. I mean, I don't know, like if you were like me, there's nothing in this world that would compel me to go stand in front of someone's house and scream like an idiot over someone that I did not know, don't even live in the same state. Yeah, like thinking people with some ethics, some class, some brains. Well, this is what we fight with right here. This is what you fight with. Although I'm sure in this clip you're speaking metaphorically, of course. Oh, but there is your criminal record that shows, well, it wouldn't be outrageous to think not in the metaphorical sense where you're concerned.
Fight. I don't like weakness. I think weakness is counterproductive.
Everything about you is weak. You are one of the weakest people on here. And the reason I say that is because only a woman who is wildly insecure, such as yourself, wants to exert her will over large groups of people. You've never controlled anything in your shitty life. YouTube has given you your moment in the sun, and now you feel important. Well, I've always felt important, so I'm sorry about your luck, Ben, but you are the picture of weak. And you know why? Because only weak people want to hurt. It's kind of like kicking people when they're down. That's what weak people do. You can't walk away from anything. You can't let anything go unsaid. Like, I don't know, all of these words in this video should have been unsaid. But you're too fucking stupid to understand that. And you are weak, Betty.
If you can't even stand up and fight for somebody that took something so precious from you away,
it's none of your business, you wretched bitch. You wouldn't know anything about being a parent, about being a mother. You will never know the depth of pain and agony that this family is going through. And for you to think you have the right to say one syllable about how these parents choose to handle their loss, it's vile. And this is why I say you are evil. In my opinion, that is how I see you. Because only someone evil would say such a hateful thing.
To not even go and stand in honor of your own son, I can't. Because what's going to end up happening is all of this is going to be turned around and be in negative light, for me.
There is no other light when it comes to you, Betty. You are your own worst enemy. And all anybody ever does is uses your own words against you. We can't help it that you don't like the way you look when we use your words. That is a Betty problem. That's not an us problem. If you don't like the way you're being portrayed, then shut the fuck up or choose different words.
at the end of the day, I have no respect for it. I'm staying away from it. It's God bless them. I wish them the
God bless them. Bitch, you and God don't belong in the same sentence. You're from another place, a much hotter place. And you are next level delusional if you think that watching some church service on Sunday mornings while you lay your fat ass in your bed in your dirty stained pajamas, watching a live stream on your laptop that some idiot bought for you, and sprinkling in God bless you after you just insult and act hateful to grieving, mourning parents, you are more delusional than I thought. And you don't.
best on their journey. But I choose to have lions in my den. Sheeps. Sorry.
Yeah, oh my God, Betty. I'm saying right now, in all sincerity, you are one of the worst people on this platform. You are one of the worst in society. And I'm sure it's just a matter of time before, you have more interaction with law enforcement. I'm not saying what I would really like to say because this is a public platform. And ultimately, unlike you, I am responsible for what I say. And I'm not going to say anything that would reflect more poorly on me than it would on you. So, but I'm sure everybody can imagine what I'm not saying. Oh, my old joke. Oh, this is perfect. I'm not saying I hate you, but I would unplug your life support to charge my cell phone. Oh, look, Betty.
And I'm sure that it's going to be clipped and what I'm saying here is going to be manipulated and twisted around because
No, it's not being manipulated or twisted around. We're following you. You're the leader, Betty. We're just following your semi-literate self.
Eight channels can't give an accurate fact whatsoever. I do respect the family. The reason why I'm not covering them is because I don't want to be disrespectful, but I have a lot to say.
If you don't want to be disrespectful to the family, shut your mouth. Don't say anything. You can't help yourself because it's who you are. You are a hateful, evil bitch.
Comes to what they're doing. But again, they
have
the right to make their own decision.
Yes, they do. So shut up.
Enough. They've earned that right. If they choose not to go, they've earned that right. It doesn't make it.
You're
it doesn't
right.
change my opinion. Because
nobody gives a shit what your opinion is. God, this, Betty. I was speaking earlier this week about someone else, and I said, clearly they don't have any home training. Clearly you didn't either. I mean, it seems like you must have been raised by savages or something. Because I tell you what, if I raised a child who turned out to be you, I'd be doing some serious self-reflection. And unlike you, I have raised a child who's a productive member of society, who has no criminal record, etc. And I can tell you this, I don't tell my son how he can feel about things, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I have a very empathetic child who inherently knows you don't kick somebody when they're down, and it would never occur to him. Unlike you, where I think not only does it occur quite naturally, you enjoy it because you're nobody and you have no power. It's why you want to go to a government Board of County Commissioners meeting where you probably, let's face it, you probably don't pay a fucking nickel of tax. You might pay property tax. Other than that, I doubt it highly. So why why you're so civic minded, I'm not sure. No, I am sure. It's a little power trip for you. It makes you feel important because you're not important and you never have been and you're never gonna be.
Understand where they're coming from or anything, but I'm sorry. If something happened to my family would expect me to be there. My family would expect me to fight.
No, that's exactly why she's pissed.
Just like the Gonsalves family. That family is America's family. That family has my
America's family, you fucking idiot. No, America's family, well, let's see. The Partridge family, what's another family? Oh, Michael, remember Family Ties? Now that's America's family. What the fuck is wrong with you? You think America's family is a family whose child has been slaughtered? God, you're so foul.
Most respect and attention. And, they could have been a united front.
They are.
But I'm sorry. I don't respect anybody that just wants to let no fight.
Oh, you're fucking evil, Betty. You are the depths of depravity.
You don't care what happens. He's dead. He's gone. It's time to move on with life. That's basically what she said. He's dead. He's gone. We got 2 other kids to worry about. C'est la vie.
Oh my God. You are so hateful. She's just disgusting. She is. She's disgusting. They do have 2 other kids. Do you think, you fat ass cow, who's almost bald, by the way, Betty, you better stop bleaching that hair, girl. I know this is the hair you want. Yeah, you can't afford it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe you could. Seems y'all have got a bunch of idiots over there who will buy you everything. So why don't you have your subs buy you a hairdresser? That's what you really need. You don't need a fucking crystal bullhorn because it's kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, that's you don't like, the last thing you need is a crystal bullhorn. Now, if I was so stupid to want a bullhorn as an accessory, kind of like my cup. Oh, I do have these in other colors as well. Yeah. No, nothing pretty or girly goes with you. So instead of a crystal bullhorn, I don't know, ask for a hairdresser because that's what you need, girl.
That's the way I heard it.
Nobody cares how you heard it. And the fact remains, they have 2 other children who I can't, like, I would not even presume to speak on how those kids must be suffering. I mean, I can understand it a lot more than this evil bitch, because she doesn't care about anybody or anything. Listen, the reason Betty doesn't respect anyone, Betty doesn't respect herself. Look at her. Look at her. She's a disgusting mess. How can she respect anyone else? Because she doesn't respect herself. But how the Chapins choose to handle the catastrophic tragedy that has happened to them, you have no right speaking on their choices. And while you may not understand it, you're not a mother. And thank God you're never going to be. So you can't understand it. So shut the hell up.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna do something to honor him. So that's why I can't cover him, is because I have such disdain, and the disdain will come across.
Oh, disdain. Somebody must have been watching, I don't know, a real, like somebody who's actually intelligent, and she learns a new buzzword, disdain. Yeah.
Reporting, it will not be unbiased when it comes to them. And
Never
because
is,
of those
you
reasons,
idiot,
I
and you're
can't
not
cover.
a
So
reporter.
we'll cover the ones that I can cover. We'll
You're a
cover
fucking
we'll cover
idiot
Xana, we'll cover
who doesn't mind having the whole internet hate her guts. That's what you are. You're not a reporter, okay? You're not. Just like I'm not a surgeon.
Alien will cover, and of course I'm going to still, say Ethan's name and stuff.
I'm sure
because
they
it's part
wish
of
you
the
would.
case.
Just leave your name out of your.
I got to be very
gross
careful
mouth.
because again, this is a family that has lost someone that I'll never understand that pain.
Oh,
I'll never understand that. I hope nobody has to understand.
Finally, correct.
So I respect that, and I
No, you don't
respect that
respect
I
anything
understand who I
or
am, and I
anyone.
understand how I analyze things and how I speak on things.
You don't analyze anything, you fucking idiot. You speak from nothing but emotion, and you can't stand to have anybody correct you, put you in your place, deny you something you want. That's it. You are not hard to figure out, Betty. You've got the mentality of a middle schooler.
And again, I think it's respectful that I just bow out.
You don't know anything about the word respect. You and the word respect have never met. Okay? Let's get real.
But I want justice for Ethan. I really do. And I wish them the best on their, scholarship in Ethan's honor, in a book that'll help fund that scholarship or fund whatever.
What the fuck is she doing?
It's obviously making its rounds out there. I would prefer maybe a nonprofit as a.
Oh God, you fucking evil bitch! I cannot play any. I can't play any more of this. I just can't. She is not Betty. I wouldn't fucking spit on you if you were on fire. If you burst into atomic flames, I wouldn't throw my cold coffee on you. Honest to God, when are you people going to wake up on here and stop supporting this evil bitch? I can't even listen to any more of her. It infuriates me. I cannot believe she would utter those words, insinuating that this family is trying to profit off their dead child's back? No, that's you. You don't even pay for your own damn car repairs, your travel expenses, your cameras, your phones, your laptops. Who the fuck are you? God, you are depraved. Truly. Honest to God. And please, let somebody, I'm dying for someone who supports her. Come tell me why. Oh, no wire hangers. Hello. I heard a few of your clips on Queen Bee. Can somebody drop no wire hangers link for me? Great job. Listen, I'm always thrilled to have another soldier in the army against Betty. I have another clip queued up, but I can't. I just cannot listen to it. I mean, how many times can I sit here and say the same things over and over? She is hateful. She's evil. She's vile. She's cruel. She's depraved. She's ugly inside and out. I'm not sure which is worse. Betty, you are fucking rotted from the inside out. You really are. And you want to know why you're alone? You're going to be alone the rest of your miserable life. What man or woman, for that matter, would want to wake up every day next to that? She is a fucking animal. You are an animal, Betty. I mean, truly, I mean, she makes me sick. No wonder JLR broke up with you, Betty. You know what? I can tell you this. I'm a decade older than Betty. I know that's very hard to believe. And I can tell you that even at her age, it says something when you constantly have people when you constantly have people coming in and out of your life, like a turnstile or a revolving door. When I make a friend, they're my friend forever, short of something. And I don't have lots of friends because I don't just call anybody a friend. So just what we've seen since she's come to YouTube, how many people have come in and left her life. Hi, hippie. How you doing? Oh, God, it's a mood. I just threw up in my mouth. Oh, God. This hippie. Oh, hey, Dis. When did you get here? Do you have Mike under control? Is Mike still in the building or did you have to bounce him? And listen, Mike, in case you're wondering, or anybody else, the only times that I will bounce Mike is if I'll let him come in here and listen. You can't stop him. He comes all the time. If we bounce him, he's back the next day. And I always give Mike, we start off on a clean slate every day. And the only times that I bounce Mike or tell the mods to bounce him is when when his cheerleading for Betty gets to the point where it's hurtful to the people that I'm talking about. For me, I don't give a shit. Do you think for one hot second I think that there is any comparison in this universe between me and Betty? So if Mike wants to come in and tell me how much he loves her every day, I'm totally cool with it until it insults someone else or that he really starts making the chat crazy. So I'm not Betty. I don't bounce people because they have a different, viewpoint than mine. And anybody who's ever been in this chat knows that Mike rolls hard for Betty all the time, and I let him because he also knows when to throw me a very shallow compliment. I'm kidding about that part. I mean, he does, but that's I just, it's funny because one word that you hear thrown around a lot on here is community. I mean, and I understand why. And there are different, parts of this hood. But I really wish that as a community, I mean, I don't even know. Are there any creators that actually stand up for her or stand with her besides her other tragedy pimps? Not them. Hey, voices, how you doing? And if anybody came in that I missed while I was ranting, hello, and I'm sorry. I didn't purposely ignore anybody. I don't get it. I do not get it. And the subs? Like, what is it going to take for you people? I find it very hard to believe that there could be, what does she have, 25,000 subs? That I'll never understand. That makes me lose all faith in humanity. It's like we live in idiocracy. We are living the movie. But it's like, what will it take? Listen, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've been told by numerous people that the reason she left TikTok is because she basically got chased out of the place. That, you know, she just really pissed about. I think what I've actually heard is the reason her criminal record came to light was because of her activities on TikTok. And people were so mad at her that they exposed her. Well, what's it going to take here? I mean, if you support Bull Skank Betty, I mean, I'm getting to the point where I'm thinking that says more about you than it does about her. I know what's wrong with her. At least what I think is wrong with her. And I don't think you have to be a damn shrink to figure it out. I mean, obviously, I'm not, and I don't truly know what is wrong with her. But I can tell you as a 53-year-old woman who has a lot of life experience in all different sectors of life that you don't have to be a shrink to figure out what's wrong with her, at least on the peripheral. So, but what makes people, she's dumb as wood, okay? She's stupid. She's a parrot. She goes and listens to smart people, takes their thoughts and words as her own, and then comes back and vomits them on her subs. What is the draw? There's nothing professional about her. Do you think if I just, listen, Walmart is full of Bettys walking around. They're all over. Every Walmart in the country, you can find a whole bunch of Bettys. They just probably have better hair. I do not understand. What is the draw? There's nothing about her that says smart. She is the living embodiment of Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Her clothes never match. They don't even look clean half the time. She doesn't look clean half the time. Look at her. She doesn't even care enough to make herself presentable, more presentable. So she's a hot mess. She's dumb. She's mean. And she wants your money. Am I missing something here? I feel like I am. Because I don't get it. Hi, Electro. Oh, she will be her own downfall. You are right. Her personality and the way she feels is her own destruction. It's her own fault, nobody else's. I concur. As evidenced by her, I think we're up to 44 now. Her 44 entries into the criminal and civil dockets. But like, what is it going to take for people to, because here's a newsflash, kids, as long as you fools are going to sit and listen, and more importantly, give her money, she's not going to go anywhere. Where's she going to go? Burger King wouldn't want her. Would you hire her for anything? Customer service rep, perhaps? No. So I'm just wondering, like, you know, this is always referred to as a community, this community, that community. Hey, Liza. Hi, Kelsey. Yeah, that was just me being a smartass. Yeah, no, there is no customer service job for Betty, unless it's 1-800 I'm a wretched bitch. Well, okay, that she could we could put her in the the boiler room. Oh God. Oh. But what is it going to take? Seriously, what will be the point where people say, she's been lying to us all this time. She's not a reporter. She's not smart. Gee, she seems really mean. What's it going to take? I mean, if you support her, I would sit down with yourself somewhere, whether it's your closet, your bathroom. Hey, Ellie. Your dog's kennel. I don't know. And ask yourself, why are you supporting someone who is just hateful and who further hurts victims of crime under the guise of a job? And from where I'm sitting, if that's her job, which it's not, but if I'll go along for a minute, if that's her job, then you people out there, you're her boss because you're paying her paycheck. What's wrong with you? You think any of this is you think it's okay? It's not okay. And Betty is not here to help anyone. Charity begins at home. She can't help herself. How the hell is she going to help somebody else? And better yet, I mean, I'm presuming, well, if I had to guess, I would say at least 50% of the people who give her money are probably on fixed incomes and can't afford it. So my question would be, why would anybody do without something or come up short so that you could fund Betty's trips of terror across the country? I mean, I'm just wondering. Because without that, Betty's not here. You watch how fast she would disappear if she lost monetization or she lost a ton of subs. Do you think she'd still be, stalwart in her quest for, being an advocate? She's a crusader for victims. She's a victimizer, in my opinion. I have never known a victim's advocate or a child's advocate, anything she holds herself out to be. I can tell you this. As someone who went through a very rigorous multi-part interview and background check to do volunteer work, Betty would never get past step one in being an advocate for anyone because she has victimized people. All the things that she wants you to believe she is and holds herself out to be, she cannot legitimately do any of those things. I mean, she's I guess a DIY advocate. Hi, Bee's Knees. How you doing? Oh, God, green. Oh. Oh, my God. How about the picture? Emmy, I think you had it. Didn't you do a thumbnail of Betty's friends, some of her friends that she met at her last rally? And trust me, we're not turning this into politics. That just happens to be where she was. I don't mention it because of the politics. Now, do you really think that any serious person who claims to be all the things she claims to be? Oh my God, I'm sorry about that camera, you guys. The sun keeps going in and out. It's messing with the autofocus. Emmy, is that the one you wanted me to play? The one from I tell you what, some of the people that Betty is flying her flag for, I wouldn't admit to knowing. And I'm sorry, let's just keep it 100. I'm kind of scared of like face tattoos, okay? I am. Now, I'm not saying that makes you a bad person. I'm saying that I think many people like myself, I'm sorry, that's just the human reaction. That's just like I'm not bothered by tattoos anywhere. But that, to me, like face tattoos, I mean, it's definitely it's a deliberate choice. And to me, it's like, it's a message. And and it's not anything about the person personally. But come on. I mean, hi, True Crime Dime. Dis. Oh, couldn't make her look any worse. Honestly, I don't have anything else to say about her today. I don't. I just really wish that everybody who is tired of this behavior, I just wish that everyone who does not support her, make your thoughts and feelings known. I understand why people, I know her tactics, and I know how she likes to roll. And I tell her all the time, you want to play that shit with me? Oh, go ahead. Start digging. Look closely. Quit believing the words that come out of her mouth when she tells, don't believe when what she tells you she is. Believe what she does. That's who she is. What that clip I played, that is who she is. She's hateful, she's cruel, and she gets off on it. She takes great pleasure. You're fine in Betty's book as long as you don't give her any pushback. Don't push back. Don't disagree. Whatever you do, don't call her out. And as long as you do and behave exactly as she wants and expects, well, then just like You're talking about 4 slaughtered kids. And this wretched cow, out of her own mouth, tells you she is only going to advocate for 3. I mean, I wish she'd advocate for none of them. And quite unfortunately, those poor families are going to find out in very short order who she is. And if you want to just speed the process up, just give her some pushback. Go against her. And you watch what happens. She's already shown us. You've got 4 slaughtered kids. And out of her own mouth, she tells you that because she does not agree with how the victims' parents are choosing to try and get from one day to the next. That wretched bitch has no understanding of that. I can't even let my mind go there. But I can tell you this. I have no doubt that every day is probably like trying to crawl through mud, slime, wearing a suit of lead. That would be my guess. And because she isn't going to get the chance to grift off of them, well, now all of a sudden, he's not worthy of your YouTube victims advocate criminal sensation, Betty. Bull skank Betty. That's my name for her. I will never again call her by her name. She's bull scorn Betty. She's bull skank Betty. I'll call her whatever I want. But because she doesn't agree with something that her low intelligence, low intellect brain can't understand anyway. But because she doesn't agree with their choices, gee, I don't know, do you think maybe they wake up every morning and say to themselves, my God, if I didn't have other children that I have to go on for, I don't know, do you think maybe they want to just lay down and die and go be with their son? I can assure you they've had those days. Hell, it might be every day. I don't know. Their other children are probably what are going to pull them through. This is never going to go away from them. It will never end for them, whether they are in court or not. But for Betty, they're less worthy because she's a fucking child and she can't put her big girl pants on and be an advocate. You're no more an advocate than this. And this is a lot cuter and a lot nicer and a lot more well-spoken. So if you insist on sticking your big, fat, ugly face where it doesn't belong and at your pretend job of advocate, reporter, whatever the hell you call yourself, if you can't be enough of a human being to not treat all the victims with the same pretend empathy, because let's face it, she has no empathy for them. She doesn't give a shit. They are a means to an end. They are their tragedy, the worst day of their lives that they will never get past. How could they? They will find a way to cope. They will find a way to get from one day to the next. I don't know how. I couldn't begin to imagine. And if they said that for them to have to do that, they needed to go stand out in traffic and roller skate up and down the medians while blowing bubbles and hula hooping, I would say, I hope you have a good day. I wouldn't question it. It's not your right to question it. And they don't deserve any less respect or empathy or sympathy because they're not doing it your way. Betty, you have to do it your way because you're a fool and you're dumb. And all you know how to do, the only tool in your little Fisher-Price toolbox, besides this and laying hands, is to be an asshole, foaming at the mouth. That's all you have. You can't express yourself with any eloquence at all. Anytime you sound even remotely of the low end of medium intelligence, it's because you've gone and listened to someone else's work, someone else's thoughts and opinions, and like a good little parrot, you come back and take somebody else's thoughts and words for yourself. I mean, it's not about what I'm saying about her. I'm telling you to take her at her word with what she's showing you, not what she's telling you, what she's showing you. And what she has shown in this disgusting clip is that in her mind, because she doesn't agree with how the Chapin family is dealing with this moving forward, well, they're not doing it the way she wants it done. So they are not as worthy as the other three of her advocacy. And the word has a D in it, you idiot. It's not advocacy, it's advocacy. What's that other thing that she can't ever say? Oh, vigil. Sweetie, I know it's coming up in the next couple of days. It's a vigil. It's not a visual. It's not a visual. It's a vigil. I mean, it's 4 letters. It's really not that hard. No, it's 5 letters. Sorry. Now I sound like Betty. So, I don't know. Let's just hope that at some point she's not going to be shamed into leaving, because she has no shame. Okay. That's very clear. She has no shame. She just doesn't. Betty, it's ironic that you are so into true crime, because from where I'm sitting, well, you more resemble the criminals than the people who write about them. But that's just my opinion. And I can have it. I'm entitled to it. And I'm not telling anyone else how they should feel, unlike you. I'm just stating what mine is. So we know she's not going to be shamed into leaving. My guess is, hi, M. Faithful. How are you? Hi, Catherine. Twin Thing. How you doing? Ashley Lee. How are you? Oh, Plethora. Yes. Now, come on. Are you trying to tell me that you don't remember, even as far back as the days of magazines? You didn't know any members of the media or any book authors who could not spell, say, or define basic words. Come on. Must be part of like the new media. Oh, Kathy, I'm sorry. Thank God I have not lost a child. But I don't know how, no matter how you lost your child, I don't know how. I can't even let my mind go there. So I don't know. But when you take all these things together, listen, this is a pattern. And this is who Betty's been her whole life. She's just got a platform now, and she's gotten a taste of what she's never had before, and I can't imagine we'll ever have again. She feels important. She feels powerful. And she gets more than 3 minutes like she gets at the county commissioners meetings. And she's not going to let go of it easily. But every dog has their day. I do know that. So it's a beautiful day, and I've got things to do. I truly had no plans on even talking about this skank today, but I just gave up 2 hours and 15 minutes of my life talking about her. And I will say, that's one good benefit of Betty, the only one I've found so far, is that I know this is what she likes to say. If I wasn't here, my haters, I pay your bills. Bitch, you couldn't afford my bills ever. So let's get that straight. Number 2, I'm not monetized. I have no plans of monetizing. That's not why I'm here. So it's not about that for me. But you do bring the views. But I have never made any bones about the fact that is exactly what I use her for. All of them. Gladly. I'm not asking for a piece of your Social Security check that you can't afford to give. I'm not, although some probably have more than others, because, you know, if you pay $26 a month or some nonsense like that to live in an apartment. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was 26 years. Never mind. So many numbers. So yeah, Betty, don't worry. You're never going to have to worry about paying my bills. And like I said, you couldn't anyway. So I don't make money off of your name. But boy, people do like to hear me read you for Phil. All right, kids. Well, I've got some personal stuff I need to do, and I think on today's Thursday. I don't think I can do it. Well, possibly tomorrow, or, well, no, not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. It'll either be first thing in the day or it'll be the end of the day. Oh, running bear. Yeah, no. I do believe a few weeks ago, I'm not going to say it because you're right. Let's just say that. Episode 2 of The Curious Case of Natalia Grace. God, you guys, that if you haven't watched it, watch it. And we're talking about it. We went through episode 1 and we veered a little bit into episode 2. I went back and listened to one, and there's just a couple points that I neglected to mention that I want to mention. So, oh, thank you, Rowena. I appreciate that. So, at least episode 2, maybe into 3 of Natalia Grace we're going to do. And that will either be tomorrow. I'm going to try and do it tomorrow. If not, Saturday. I know I have a lot going on this weekend, but we're going to get it done either tomorrow or Saturday. So I look forward to that. And well, thank you, Running Bear. I appreciate that. I hope everybody has a great day, and I'll see y'all out here on these streets. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I will see you soon.